Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this evening's talk, which is harmonizing our environment with Feng Shui and Sache. This is one of our Land of Shambhala Holistic Life Series talks, and this week's talk, as I mentioned, will be around Feng Shui and Sache, also known as Geomancy, which is a way to cure, enhance, and harmonize the external energies and focusing on gathering favorable conditions in our environment. So we'll illuminate how geomancy is like a medicine for the human housing environment, harmonizing the shapes, materials, colors, elements, and several kinds of energies to bring favorable conditions and overcome difficult situations. So joining us for this exciting discussion and to learn some practical tips on how you can help harmonize your environment and open the door to favorable conditions to arise. So today's guest speaker is David Martin, and just as a short introduction, David is a Buddhist practitioner who met the Buddhist path in 2014 through the Gelugpa tradition and started studying in 2005 with main Buddhist texts, mainly through the foundations of the preservation of the Mahayana tradition in their 5-year basic program. So during this period of time, David met geomancy and received the complete transmission of the Chinese tradition of Feng Shui from Jampa Lundrup, who was Lama Zopa Rinpoche's attendant. And he later received the transmissions of the Tibetan tradition Sache from Dr. Nida, who is the recognized master of Sowa Rigpa. In the meantime, David was also lucky enough to meet the Kalachakra path with His Holiness Sakya Trinzen and Kensur Jado Turku Rinpoche. He did his first geomancy study case in 2009 and continued until now, enriching his expertise with Tibetan medicine and Tibetan astrology. And also a very important point of geomancy is activating the water element. And because of the lack of suitable solutions on the market, David has developed specific fountains to enhance the water element and balance environmental energies. So we will welcome David now to commence this discussion. So welcome with us today, David.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you for your invitation. And
hang on, David. Sorry, David. It's probably your two computers, so we just might need to switch one. It's just creating some feedback for us. I'll just get you to unmute if you can, David. Sorry, folks, we won't be a moment. We're just having some sound issues. You should have a little button there you can unmute. David, if you can. Yep, perfect.
Is it okay now? Yeah?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
Okay, great.
It's back.
Yes, so I have to close the other one. So.
Sorry, folks, for the technical issues. We won't be too long. So just to get you to unmute again, David.
So it should be good now, because in fact,
Yes.
I was not able to put everything in the same slide. So I took other documents, and I wanted to use the other computer to see what you are able to see, in fact, how the documents are arranged, but it will be good anyway.
Okay, so, well, we can see you now, so you may
going to share first document. It should be, there's a lot. Where is my document? Geomancy, that one. Share. Okay. So what is the geomancy? Try to start that diapo. Okay. So in geomancy, we have several traditions. We have the Chinese one with the Feng Shui, and we have the Sache in the Tibetan tradition. In reality, there's more. You have the Vastu for the Indian tradition. And also we have the geobiology for the Western one. Okay, I'm not sure we are going to talk about a few points on geobiology, but maybe when we are going to talk about the bedroom, because sometimes you have good Feng Shui, but it's not easy to have a good sleep. So what is used for is, as you said, is to create the harmony in the place of life, in the everyday life, and also in the time, because we can use the Feng Shui in the time. And it's like also you can find some house astrology also. Okay, so what is it? In fact, it's like you are going to acting only on the condition. It means that if you plant a seed, it will be a cause. Okay, so but if the seed does not meet the right condition, you are not going to experiment the result of what you plant. So, or the seeds, they never is going to grow, or is going to grow quite well. And geomancy is bringing the right condition to make happen the right phenomena, the right opportunity, and to destroy the wrong condition that's going to bring some troubles in your life or things like that, or even trouble you have, and at the end it's easy to vanish. Okay, so this is what geomancy is. In fact, we have three kinds of luck in life. We have the heaven luck, that it's the luck you are born with. Okay, it's most of the time is due to the previous karma. But it means that, in fact, when if we don't believe in karma, it's like if you look around you, there's people, they have different abilities and different skills, but they are not the same anyway. So it's come from the heaven luck. You have the earth luck. The earth luck is rather the place you are going to, the environment you are going to live in. Like, for instance, if you are born in the middle of Africa, it will be more difficult than if you are born in let's say in a nice town like Melbourne, not see.
Like that, and would you say these are integrated with each other, David? Are they integrated? Like when you're talking about the luck that you're born with and the earth luck, they're integrated in a way.
Yeah, but in fact, we are going to act in the man luck. The geomancy is going to act on the third luck. Okay, it means that's going to work on the opportunity you can get, and the opportunity you can create, and also the let's say what condition you can change to make arise good condition, or even it can modify the earth luck. because if you are able to, let's say you are living in a difficult area and you make some nice Feng Shui, you meet some good conditions, and you will be able to move. So it also can change your earth lock. For the last one, for the heaven lock, it's a little bit more difficult because it's rather, let's say, Dharma practice was going to be able to act on the karma. So the geomancy can create some causes. For instance, maybe you might find a nice master is going to help you, but the geomancy is rather around the man lock, the third one. Okay, this is the how the geomancy work. Okay, to get some just small history. The Feng Shui is winds and water. It has been developed for at least 4,000 years in China. Okay, and it's rooted in the Taoism. Just to make it short, the most important thing that is under the Qing dynasty, the Emperor Chu has developed Feng Shui for enemies. It means Feng Shui to destroy the enemy from inside.
Okay.
That's because there's some conflict in the traditions. So you can find some Feng Shui is not going to work and even completely opposite theory. Okay. So this is a point to know in the history of the Chinese tradition. Then after October 1949, it has been prohibited in China. So, except for the ruling class and the imperial palace, but it means that all the masters, they left China and they went to Taiwan. So Taiwan, Hong Kong, Malaysia, but Singapore, also Korea and Japan, but they left. Okay. And there's 3 major masters who spread the Feng Shui in the West. As I told you, in Feng Shui, there's several lineage. Okay, so I learned with the one lineage. Okay, and it's include the Buddhist Reverend Hong Chong. It's a specialist of the form school. And also with Yap Shen E and his interpreter Lilian Tu. So Lilian Tu is a bit famous through her books. And Yap Shen E. So Yap Shen E, it's good to know and to care a little bit because there's on internet, there's someone who took that name to create some schools and so, but it's not the Yap Shen E from the traditional lineage. Okay, so the point there is to care about the lineage and to not make too much mistakes about that, to be sure about the lineage. So that's because the history from that point is quite good. Let's look for the Tibetan part. So the Tibetan part is the for the 2 major masters, there's not so much master anyway. The only master I found is the Dr. Nidashen Lakstong that we already know, and his wife also, Zering Danya, who talked about the Tibetan Geomancy. I met several traditions like Gelupa tradition, Nigmapa, Sakyapa, even some Ven tradition, and it's not easy to find the teaching on the Tibetan geomancy. So we were lucky to get that 2 masters. It starts with the nice story. It's the 10th century before BC. And at the end, it was a smooth and model the sound at the Yutso Lake. In fact, the beginning, the story, as there were some Tibetans who were in search to know more about geomancy, and around the Mount Kailash, they meet they were walking around the lake, and there's a cow who emerged from the lake, and they chase the yak. Okay. And there's a man is running after the cow, and they eat the cow, and at the end she chases again, of course, the cow till the lakeside, and there at that point you had a snake woman who emerged from the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And that snake woman was Dorje Lumo. And so once she emerged like that, so he prostrate, he apologized, he offered some gold, and he offered some sound. And he asked to, please, if you can teach some more knowledge about geomancy. And from that point, she starts modeling the sound, doing some mountains, some hills, some river. And from that point, she talked about 360 points of geomancy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, she talked about the absolute truth and relative truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's the first palace built in accordance with the Sache was the 2nd century BC. And Padmasambhava was Saken. Saken, Sa is Sa is Earth. Okay, Che is analysis of Earth, but Saken is master of the Earth. Okay, so it means that the Feng Shui master in the Tibetan tradition is the Saken. And in fact, at the end, let's say around the 17th century, it was quite complete. Okay. Because of Sengye Gyatso, who asked for, he met an order for to gather the knowledge in the Tibetan medicine, but also to gather the knowledge in astrology. So it's from that point we had the 4 blueberry tantra. It's mostly for the medicine part, and the white berry. So it's for the astrology part. And the Sache is included in the white berry. There's nothing that apart. In fact, it's included. So astrology and Sache is the same book. Okay. So it means that we use the bus in the Tibetan astrology. Okay. So here the lineage master, John Palodrup, is an Australian master.
These are your lineage masters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he travels a lot. He did some short TV movie regarding each town from the geomancy analysis. And Dr. Gina Shenakstong, that is, as you already know, he taught the Tibetan geomancy. And in the Tibetan geomancy, you need to receive transmission for all the amulet consecration. So, of course, the Tibetan geomancy, you need to receive some transmission for some kind of mantra. There are specific amulet. It's like hidden amulet, hidden because it's because you need to receive that kind of transmission. But in Tibetan, all the cure, all the remedy, they are mantrified. You can mantrify, consecrate. In Chinese, it's not necessary. Okay, they do not use any. They do not perform any practice. Okay, for the Tibetan one, you also can use the remedies and the cure without mantrification, but it's better if you can. Okay, so in the geomancy, in the Chinese, let's say, because I need to know where I go. Okay. Yes, we start by the Chinese approach and then the Sache approach. And then we will travel a little bit in Australia. Okay. So yes, in the Chinese tradition, you have three schools. Okay. Three schools. You have the form school. We are going to look about the landscape, the land shape, house shape and location, room shape and the position, and of course the poison arrow. Okay. So let's say the form school. It's just, we have the same in the Tibetan Geomancy, but it's more developed. It's huge. You can in the Tibetan you are going to analyze the form of the sky. You are going to analyze the form of the sea, the form of the rocks, the form of the mountain. It's a little bit more developed in the Tibetan tradition. So the form school, the compass school is the school where we are going to use the direction. Okay. Also in that one, it means to find your best direction to face and to avoid the wrong direction. Okay. But we also use that one when we are going to analyze the house. We are going to divide the house. It's, for instance, the Loshu square. Loshu square, and it's also called the 8 geomantic mansion. And we are going to use the element cycle, productive cycle, destructive cycles, and we are going, the target is going to not to destroy it first, not to destroy the lock sector. There's 8 lock sector, and to enhance if possible. Okay, so I try to go. Yes, the flying star school is in the Chinese tradition is considered as the most effective school, most powerful. Okay, and I organize that chat a little bit later to start from there. Okay, it's not the normal way to do, but at least you will get the 2 major remedies and 2 major cure really to change to make the best to change the life. Okay. And the Flying Star School is the it works on 20 years, a period of 20 years. Okay. It's like
and are these schools used in conjunction with each other, or are they used separately, or how do they integrate?
It's a good question. It's a good question because there are some traditions they consider only that one. And there are some tradition they do not consider so much that one. Even they don't. In the Tibetan tradition, that school does not exist, for instance. Okay. And also there's Chinese traditions, they work only with that one. From my side, it's important to consider 3 traditions. Because you are not going to bring a cure from the Flying Star School if it's to destroy the 8 mentioned, I mean the element, the harmonies of the element. Okay. Sometimes you have, sometimes not, but it's always good to take in consideration the 3 schools. Okay. It's the way I practice. And sometimes it's better, and even it's better to if you really have to bring some metals in the wood sector. Let's say there's some discussion about yearly bad influences. And for instance, that yearly bad influences, that is the 5 nodes as the 5 yellow, was in the southeast sector. Southeast sector is the wealth sector. It's your wealth luck, you see. And the cure for the 5 yellow is the 6 a shine with the 6 rows, you see, yellow rows, and it's metal one. But in fact, as the 5 yellow is the earth element, if you reinforce, if you add more wood in that sector, you are going to destroy anyway. Okay, the bad influence. So there's some balance like that to consider. Okay, when you respect the element, if you don't care so much about the element, you are just going to apply the basic rule, and in fact, you are going to destroy the sector. So what you want to cure, in fact, is going to bring you some trouble. So working with the element is cannot be separated than working with the flying star. And if working with the flying star, it's good to get to be able to work with the element. It's more difficult to match the element and in between the school. Okay. But it works. It works. There's some cue in the flying star school. You have many charts, and in all that chart, when you have some conflict with some star, there's cure already. It's already done. But sometimes we have to think a little bit, of course. Okay, so that one is okay. Still in the Chinese way of thinking, for the landscape, the Chinese say, okay, you have your house. So what I am telling there for the house or for the environment works for your flat or work for your house. Okay, it's the same. Okay, so at the back of the house, it's good to get some mountain. And in fact, the Chinese, they put a mountain in the back, a mountain on the right, mountain in the left. The back, the left, and the right is when you are inside the house and you are looking out, from in to out. Okay.
So this is talking about, the ideal placement of a house, if you had a choice, to have a direction of where it should be. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. In fact, we are going to see that for the direction, usually the back, it can be the north, but not always. Okay, whatever your let's say, whatever your house is, whatever direction the house is facing, most important is to get something in the back. Or it's a mountain, or if it's a flat, it will be a higher building. It's a house, it can be trees. If you don't have trees, you can put some bamboo. Okay.
And what's the significance of that? Why is it important to have that?
So you will see later. I'm going to show you by pictures. You will understand quite well. Okay. Just the configuration. Okay. You have the dragon hill on the right side. There's discussion that bigger hill or not bigger. It means the dragon hill should be bigger than higher from the tiger hill, or the tiger hill should be higher than the dragon hill. This is a discussion in the Chinese tradition, but the answers going to come later. So anyway, we call that the armchair configuration, and you will understand later. Let's make a round for Sache. We have 3 types of Sache too. We have tantric Sache, we have astrologic Sache, and we have traditional Tibetan medicine Sache. Okay, the astrologic Sache is going to work with balancing the elements. Okay. And there's a trees for that, but sorry, it's in Italian. I did not have time enough to translate everything. But it's the point there is that when we are going to talk about colors, it won't be the same from the astrologic than in the spiritual one, even in the medicine. When we are going to talk about which part of the body is linked a direction or location, it can be different if you talk about medicine, if you talk about astrology, or if you talk about the spiritual part. Okay. So this is just to know there's 3 types. The 3 types are that way, but they include the landscape, the form school, of course. It include also the compass school, okay, and not so much the flying star school, okay. So here we had the 4 direction also with the house. If you maybe you can see there, okay, we have the same configurations and the Feng Shui, okay, except that we have no hill on the left side. It means the east side, okay. We have a mountain behind. We have a mountain on the right. If you look from inside to outside, and you have a river in the front. Okay, here you have a path. It's coming from the east. And
so this is the ideal, I guess, conditions that you would say?
Yes. This is the ideal condition according to the Sache. And the one we saw before are the ideal condition we saw from Feng Shui. Okay. And you are going to see that in image, that's how it works. And so on the west there we have it's not mountain of the tiger. They say it's called the red bird. Okay, sometimes we mixed a bit with some garuda. Okay, we can, but it's linked also. So why we have so the most important things to understand in the difference between the Sache and the Feng Shui is that the Sache works with the light. Okay, that geomancy gives a lot of importance to the light, and it works really. It's really effective one. That and the red bird, for instance, going to protect from the sunset, okay, light, because sunsets bring some melancholy. Okay, and from that side, or we put some symbol, or we try to hide the last beam of the sun. Okay, if we have some an exposition, if the house is exposed to the west, the people there, if the facing direction is the west, they can get some melancholy, maybe some sadness, maybe some stress or things like that. It's happened. Okay. At the back, we still have the turtle, that the protection from the back, from the north. Okay. And anyway, in the Sache, the demoniac force, they come from the north. Okay, so we try to protect. From the, try to move. Yes, the tiger. Okay, so the tiger is the light coming from the east. It's really important to get light in the house, in the house, in the flat. Okay, and there in that case, it can be roads bringing some energy from the east. Okay, and in the south, it is a lucky place. In fact, is the turquoise dragon. Okay, turquoise dragon, and it represents the lakes and the river and the sea. Okay. So according to the Sache, if you can get a mountain in the back, water in the front, light from the east, that means light from the left, okay? And if you can get not too much exposition to the west for the sunset, this is the best condition for according to Sache. Okay. Anyway, if you don't have light enough in a house or in a flat, it's going to become too yin. Okay, and in all flat or all house where there's no light enough, the man leave, or the man leave or is is dead. It's possible. And the woman, there's always women in that kind of houses, and they're not able to find any partner, or if there's one partner, it's not going to leave. And so the house.
So these are some of the effects of having unbalanced, I guess, directions and elements within a home environment. But from what I understand, David, there are remedies that you can do to balance these elements.
Yes. But it means it means that light is really important. Okay, this is the point. And of course, there's remedies, of course. Okay, fortunately.
Yes.
Yes. So let's maybe fly a bit. Okay. So here is Sydney. Okay, Sydney town, and that town is facing to east direction. And here, if you look how it's made, it's surrounded by some hills or mountain. Okay, yes, everywhere there. So the energy coming from the sea come there, and you have like a funnel effect. Okay, it's maybe, yes, we can see better there. Okay, so the energy is coming there inside, and it stayed there. And with that kind of funnel effect, okay, the energy stayed there, and I don't know Sydney, but I guess it's a really young town, and maybe with a lot of, in fact, due to the fact it's facing to the east, yes, there's a lot of financial activities there, or and even huge, till the point that maybe you can become exhausted to get too much work. You see, like I don't know a lot, but
so what you're saying, David, is the way it's where it's sitting, it's getting all the energy is being funneled directly to the main part of Sydney, and then the effects of that are what you've mentioned. So are there any other effects that might be from that?
Yes, in fact, that one is quite specific. It's a specific one because it's really a funnel. You see, it's come in and it's going. It comes in and going back. But the point here to understand is that, as we saw previously, it's surrounded by mountains. So we remember why there's mountain in the back, why there's mountain on the right, and sometimes on the left. It's to gather the energy. And when you are able to gather some energy, the life is going to develop. Okay. So we try to do quite short. Yes, Adelaide is not the same configuration. Here you have mountain just in the back. Okay. And that town is facing to west. Okay. There. And in fact, you could find some life everywhere, you see. But in fact, in that area, you found only in front of the mountain. Okay, there. Okay, there. In fact, you have some mountains there. Maybe it's not. You don't need high mountain. It can be a hilly place only, but a little bit high enough on the ground. And so life developed there. Okay. And then here you have the phoenix. Okay, the phoenix is that, so here you have the sea, so the water in the front. You can have the phoenix hill to retain the energy, and it's protect there with that kangaroo island. So we still find the mountain in the back. So even if you don't have too much on the right or too much on the left, you see that even from the back, it already works, okay? And if you look a little bit more, there you have some, here it's a mountain range, I guess. It's higher mountains. So it means that that area, I don't know if it's quite developed, but I found a town, you see, Clare, it's the name, Clare?
Yes.
Okay. And each time you are going to find a mountain behind, a mountain in the back, and water in the front, you are going to find some life, okay? More than if you live behind the mountain with a mountain in the front, okay? That, for instance, if you live in town or if you live in house, if you have big building face just in front of your facing direction, it will be difficult, okay? Because the energy is not able to come in, okay? So let's make something. We have the same whispers, okay? That in fact that town is is just close to the mountain range there, and we have quite huge development in the front of that mountain. We have the same as Adelaide. I forgot something on Adelaide, but let's say on Perth it's the same. You have a mountain range there. So maybe we have some development there, okay? But at least for Perth, this is the first level of the mountain. So the energy coming from the sea is stuck there. So it's because that you are going to find more activity in front of this mountain than behind, okay? Maybe there's not so much activities in that part, okay? It will be rather there. Just to come back on Adelaide is facing to the west, okay? Not directly, not like Perth, because Perth has going to catch all the young energy from the sea, because it's really facing the Indian Ocean. But Adelaide, when I look for the map, I say, oh, it's facing to west. And I say, oh, usually it's a melancholic direction. So I say, I did some search. And I say, are there more retired people in Perth or not? Are there more young people in Perth or not? Are there more artists? And at the end, I found that it's artistic town. It's known for its artistic festivals. And there's a less young person and there's more retired people. It's not a huge difference, of course, but and it was quite strange that to see that what we have in Sache, okay, we can be able to find in some towns, in some story of some towns, and oh, yes, I had the message. I lost the internet connection, but it's okay.
We've got you. It's fine.
Yeah. So this interesting that even if you have some good condition, the facing direction has its importance. Like if you are facing to the east, it's important to care about too much energy. If you are facing to the west, it's important to care about the mental, some mental aspect, for instance. Okay. So this is Perth. It's clear. The geometry of the town is follow straight the mountain one. Okay. The Perth is quite linear and the mountain too. So Melbourne, it will be the last town. Okay. Melbourne. How to come back? Yes. So Melbourne is interested too because you have some. So it's not there's not too much high mountain, but you have hilly place. Let's say from that part, okay, and a little bit there, but it's like a ball. It's not just, you see, and you have the same configuration with water in the front, mountain in the back. And you have also there, you can consider some Phoenix Hill to retain the energy. And there, in that configuration, you have also the tiger from the Sache. It means It's not even a light, but it's a road. It's from the east. So Melbourne can enjoy at least can enjoy the energy coming from the east. So with the road there, yes, the mountain on the back and the water in the front. Water in the front, as we saw, it's a turquoise dragon. Okay. And here it's quite interesting configuration because that, in fact, it's also a specific place regarding the herbal activities. Because you have all that energy is going to stuck there, and also from that part to stuck there. And here it's like a phoenix hill also, you see. Mm-hmm. So I guess maybe it's still now, there's a huge maritime activity, huge sea activity, even for business. Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we see there's you see, for instance, I guess it's a hilly place. It's quite hilly placed at that part. So the development, the town development is bigger from at that side. It looks like a northwest side than in that area, you see, because of the mountain. Okay. Okay, so the point there is to tell you to activate the water. If you activate the water, as we saw, I took some picture for you to understand a little bit better. You can make simple things, okay?
So by activating the water, David, can you explain that a little bit for what that means on, a personal level and why that's important to someone for their own home?
Okay. So activate the water is the best cure and the best Feng Shui action you can do to bring a lot of luck in your house. And it's going to activate all the luck sectors. Sometimes you can get a really nice Feng Shui. If you don't activate the water, it does not going to work very well. Okay, I did the experience. It's a really answer. This is in Sache, this is the turquoise dragon. Okay. So if you have, it's good. If you want, you can have a nice geomancy, but if you don't activate the water, you are not going to experiment many change. In the text, in the Chinese tradition, you can get some effect in 9 days.
Mm-hmm. So okay. What's the reason behind that, David? Are you creating movement in the environment? What is it, that you're actually changing?
It works by itself because it's activate the water is like let's remember the first diapo with the seed. Okay, and if you plant the seed, you can if you don't bring some water, the seed is never going to grow. Mm-hmm. Water is also energetically it's a young water, of course, but it's going to, let's say, there's not only the water, of course. There's also another cure we are going to give you anyway. But for instance, my Feng Shui master in the Chinese tradition said, if you do nothing in Feng Shui, let's say you do nothing, you don't care about elements, you do nothing, at least you activate the water and at least you activate, we say, the mountain star. it works. It's really efficient. There's to say how it is efficient and how we can link to personal things. Feng Shui, you apply the cure, and then you wait.
Okay.
Okay.
So how do you activate water?
So you activate the water. Yes, to activate the water, there's mainly two ways. Or you have some fish tank, or you have a fountain. So fountain is something very simple. I have more sample? No, this is no, it's not there. So fountains, and the major point is to check if you have some fountains, is to check that you don't have any wrong fountains. Okay. Because sometimes the people they have fountains in their home, but in fact, fountain is the water is the money. Okay. And if you have a fountains flowing, let's say around like a twisted flow, you see, sometimes you have twisted flow. It means that the money is going to make several rounds before coming. If you have fountains that going to flow on the wall, sometimes you have some small wall and you have water flowing there, and at the end, the water fell down drop by drop. So it means you are going to get some money drop by drop.
Okay.
If you have a fountain like let's say a sphere, okay, flowing everywhere, it means the money is going to come in your house, but it's going to go away. It's not going to stay. If you have a fountain because the fountain, if you have fountain from outside or in your garden or in your house, it should point the center of the house. Okay, always. If your fountain is pointing somewhere else, it means your money is going to go away. Okay. So it's to get a Feng Shui fountain is to get a fountain where the flow is direct. Okay. Where you have a recipient huge enough. Okay. Sometimes you have some fountains, there's no deepness, you see it. And you need to look at on the left hand side, it's a simple fountain. Just you take a bucket, a pump. The pump is the one of the fish tank, okay? And here you have a plastic hose. You don't need more than that to make a perfect Feng Shui fountain. Okay, so in case of so it was a little bit arranged with some wooden things, but you don't need. You take your bucket, you put the pump, you take a plastic hose long enough to make the hose going away and coming back, and even you can tape you can tape the hose on a piece of wood to make the flow direct. Okay. Maybe I have some video to show you how the flow should be, but
David, just to let you know, we've got about half an hour left. So
okay,
timing.
So anyway, that cure is one of the most powerful cure in Feng Shui. Okay. I check if I have some video for you but I guess maybe it's enough. I guess you understand the point that the most important thing in the fountain is the flow, to direct the flow. And if you can do that, it's wonderful. That's going to change your life. Okay. Do I have any? This is fountains. Maybe I have some a short one. No. You see something or not?
No, it's just your slides that are showing.
Okay. No, it's because we don't have so much time, so we are going to go a little bit. We are going to check. So this is the point. The point is, if you can install or a fish tank or a small fountain, okay, it's if it's simple, it's enough. Huh? For the indoor, you can have one level, it's enough. If you have a fountain outdoor, if you can get 6 levels, it's okay. 6 level is that you can see on the photo. Okay. And even you can get several fountains. There are several places where we can put some fountain in house, but at least if you are able to do that, it's going to change your life for sure. And sometimes in really short time. If it does not work, because it's possible that it does not work, there's a reason for that. Okay. But I will tell you later on. Then the next one. So the fountains you understood, it's for money matter, and it's going to announce the luck in all sector of your life, in all the luck sector of your life. The luck sector, it's simple. You have north for career. You have northwest is a mentor sector. So it means if you need some help, if you need some money, if you need some help, it's a mentor luck sector. Then you are going to get the west. It's a children luck. If you have some children, it's good to protect them. So the west sector is children sector for the luck of the children.
David, your slider, if you could maximize it for the screen.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Now that part is for the relationship, for the love and partners, and okay, this is the second most important cue is the mountain star. Okay, so if you have the money and if you are happy in your relationship, it's already quite good. Okay. So
were there any more directions?
Yes.
Sectors. Yep.
Yes, there's some place to put. So as we saw in the previous slide, in the previous diapo, it calls a mountain star. Okay, that one. And it's rather in the back of the house, okay, where there's a mountain. Okay, so you can get, you have the one on the left-hand side. There is.
So what's the significance of the mountain star, and what is the mountain star, and
the mountain star is how to bring luck in your relationship. Relationship with your family, relationship with your partner. It means, for instance, if you have some difficulty to find a partner, it's going to help. If you have some trouble in family, is going to help too.
And this is a specific place in your home, this point, this mountain star. Yep.
Okay. Yes, like the water star. So what I am telling to you now is that you put the water in the front, in the facing direction. The facing direction of the earth will be the place where you have the most light coming in. This is the facing direction. So it will be the front most of the time. Okay. And in the back, you put the mountain, like on the schematic we saw already. You see the pattern. Okay, so you can use some stone. You can get some small device like that. You can get some crystal like that. If you can put some crystal like that, it's quite good because you are going to get. You see, like on the left-hand side. It's called Cosmic Dragon Breath. Okay. and you also hide there. So it's quite nice. We can use for mountain star. Okay, so I have a next one. It's simple. Huh? You see, look, you gather the stone all together. Okay. So I told you that water in the front, mountain in the back, but sometimes it does not work as expected. So we have to wait a bit. And if not, in fact, you have to refer to the Flying Star School, okay? And usually, if we know, we use the Flying Star School first, okay? Let's talk, so it's a bit French, but south, I took some sample, south orientation. And we look for the 8 mountain. The 8 numbers. Left is the mountain.
So what is this configuration, David?
Yeah, this configuration is the configuration from Flying Star. Okay. And in fact, I'm trying to explain that you can also get various configuration where to place the water and where to place the mountain star. On that configuration, okay, it can be in the back of the house. You can get bus together, the fountain and the mountain, but it can be the bus in the front. Okay, and you have other case. So that one is the full chart of the Flying Star. The target is not to understand, of course, but it's that in fact you have. No, you can get, in fact, to sum up, you can have both the mountain star and the water star in the front, or in the left, or in opposite each other. So you have 4 configurations. Okay. So to be sure that's going to work. Okay. We can use the first, like in the Sache, okay, the first pattern, and we saw that it works when we saw the various town. Okay, that configuration works, but sometimes you don't have so much change. You apply the Flying Star chart, and that one I got some result just in few days. Okay. There's people, they wanted to sell their house. I met, the previous months, I had 2 or 3 persons. They put the water in the right place. They sold their house and their shop in the next month. So this is very, very, very efficient. If you do nothing, as I told, do at least those 2 things. And even till there, if you understand enough, it's okay. We don't need to know so much more. Okay, we can. But the point is that if you can do that, and you can do simple things. Okay, it's simple. Huh? It's not extraordinary things. Okay, and what you can do in your flat or in your house, you can do in your garden. Okay, and if you have a land, you can do in the land also. Okay, it's possible. It's really, really, really powerful. Okay. So let's talk about another things to care about. Because you see, for instance, there are some people, they have some bagua in house, or they hang some Feng Shui device because it's nice or whatever. Never hang a bagua indoor. Never. Okay. If you have, put in the drawer. There's one I use to cure poison arrow. Okay. For instance, I try to come back. Okay, if you have some, so this is a river pattern there, but it can be a road too. Okay. So if you have, that one is a good configuration on the left-hand side here. This one is a good configuration. This one is a bad one. And this one is with that road or river facing to the house is really not good. I met that case, and in fact, the house was divided in two parts, and there's one part with the road directly facing to one side of the house, and it was the place where the children were, and they always get sick all the time. Then they changed. They did some renovation, and the children, they were better. But in fact, the parents, they slept in that area, and the wife developed a breast cancer, but it's not a small one. But at the end, they have to cut. Okay. So if you find that kind of configuration with a road facing to your house, or a road bending like that, okay. The cure for that, there's not so much cure. It's a really bad configuration, but there's one cure that works, which works, is for that case, we use early even Vajra. But that one is the cure who's going to reject the energy. So if you have close to neck boars, we need to care about to not use that one. So in that case, we are going to use the double Vajra from the Chinese tradition. So here, just here, the message for that diapo is never hang such a cure indoor. Okay, never. So okay. Okay, so the compass. So we are going to talk about the compass school. That one is used to find your best direction to face. Okay, but also to understand the Loshu square, what is the north and how it works. If we talk about the north, it starts from which degrees and it finishes to which degrees. Okay. Let's say, so the compass, we do Feng Shui, we do Geomancy with the compass. The Tibetans, they don't use so much. We rather use the compass in the Feng Shui, because we work sometimes with the 15-degree range. Okay, and we need to get some sharp measurements. So that's because we use some like a tracking compass. Donc no tracking compass, for its compass. It's not small compass. You see, small compass. You see, there's someone really small compass with the needles moving in all the sides. So that kind of compass is not sharp enough. Okay. So let's have a look a little bit more about, you see there, you have, if you take some measurements, you need to be able to see if it's a north one, a south one, okay, and so it's the sectors are including some degrees. So it means that the south starts from 158 degrees to 202 degrees. Okay, you can see there it's a low pan in the middle there. We call that a low pan. It's a simple low pan, but it's really efficient one. So low pan is going to separate all the sectors in 3 sectors. Okay, and you can see that it's 1, 2, 3. Yes, okay. And it's helpful for the 5-star chart. So from there, it's good to know that to be able to know where the north is and where when you are going to check your facing direction. Okay. I check if you see, for instance, we have the 8 mentioned, and you are going to draw, it's called Loshu square. Okay, so you take your house or your flat, and you can take your land too, And you are going to take your compass and you are going to measure. You measure from the inside to outside. Okay, you are going to get a number. Okay, number. Okay, like there. Okay, with the compass. Degree, it's like, yes, you see, you are going to get some degree value there. From that degree value, you go there, you get if you are in the south or whatever, and then you are able to draw your 8 lobe sector. Okay, they are sector. I don't talk about direction. Okay, so for instance, on that one, the entry door is in the northeast, and the let's say we can say that it's northeast will be the facing direction, for instance. Okay. Here you have the door on that one. So that one is quite complicated architecture. And for some complicated architecture, we can use that she's technique. Okay. And so you are able to find your facing direction and also your various lock sector, as I told you before. That one is interested. Okay, the one on the left hand side, where in fact the building there, you see, you are going to get a missing sector, the southeast. Okay, it's worse when you are with a U-shape house or L-shape house. Because when you are going to draw your Loshu square, okay, here, for instance, we have 2 sectors missing. If they are lock sector, so if they are missing, it's difficult to recover. Okay, in that case, as it's south, it's a fire sector. We can have like a fence or trees, but fence not in metal. It's a wooden one, for instance. Okay, so there's techniques. There's technique to recover missing sector, but at the beginning they are lost. Okay, so if you do nothing, for instance, there it's south missing. South is a reputation, so you can face to some gossip, thing like that. Okay, and center is stability. Okay, there southeast on the left hand side is wealth. So if you have a wealth sector missing in your house, you can encounter some money problem. Okay. So this is the compass knowledge is useful to be able to draw this sector, okay? Because then once you are able to draw your Loshu square, you are going to be able to work on your lock, okay? So I check the time. Do we have time? There's no. So
we've got about 15 minutes left.
Oh, yes.
So I might just ask if anyone does have any questions. You're welcome to put them in the Q&A section now. Yes, and we'll answer those. But David, yeah, you can continue.
Yes. For that to work, so there's 2 points. It's 15 minutes. It's a bit short, but because there's some good direction, you can know your good direction. So for this, it's compass cool. You have another document. Or we look for your good and bad direction, or we can start to work with the elements to care about your 8 lock sector in the house or in the flat. I'm not sure it will be possible to do the bus things. So it's up to you. It's up to you. What do you want? What do you prefer to do? To look for, to work with elements, or to know something about the good direction to face?
I think it'd be good to talk about, from a practical point of view and people that practice.
Yes.
What are some of the, I guess, things that they
Yes,
can
there's a lot
do
of
to enhance
things.
their practice?
Yes, also there's a lot of things to talk about the rooms. For instance, for the bedrooms, the arrangement for the bedrooms, that it, in fact, yes, the other chapter I prepared, but the bedrooms, for instance. Let's talk about the bedroom, if you agree. If you meet some sleep trouble, it's not good to get the bed between the door and, of course, the windows. Okay, if you have that kind of trouble, you put a screen in between. Okay, never sleep with the feet facing the door. This is the dead position. Okay, and you are going, your life, your vital energy is going to be sucked. Okay, so it's also never sleep the head facing to the south, because it's the south is the lord of death. Okay, and it's going to suck your vital energy too. So even in some so in geomancy, in the Chinese, in Feng Shui and in Sache, it's possible to find there's best direction to sleep, there's best direction to face when you walk, the best direction to face when you're going to sleep. Okay, it can be different from Sache and Feng Shui, but this is the basic rules. Okay, never sleep, if possible, never sleep the head on the same walls and they have the door opening. Okay, it's for stability point. And also, it's possible to never sleep the head above the windows, okay, or in the windows direction. If possible, never sleep with the head where you're going to get some toilet behind. Okay, to not face. Sometimes you have some rooms, bedrooms, and you have some toilets. So you have a wall, it's possible, and you have the head towards that direction. So it's not good. So about toilets, okay, there's also something about toilets, but let's for the bedrooms. Also, it's if you have some children, our bedrooms never put any mirror in the bedroom. If you have some mirror, it's good to get the mirror in the cupboard, because if you are alone and you are in search for someone, you can put a mirror. But if you are a couple, the mirror is going to invite for duplication in the bedroom, so it's not so good. Okay, so if you never put any mirror, we avoid the TV in the master bedroom. It's good for the children anyway. For the mirror, we don't put any mirror in front of a door, because energy is coming in and then going to be reflected. We try to avoid mirror facing to windows, because it's the same. The energy is coming and going out. We use mirror to recover some missing corner, like there. Okay, sorry.
So you had before, I think, the southeast direction that was missing for one configuration.
Yes, for instance, if let's take that sample. Okay, the southeast corner there is missing in the flat. So it's possible to put a mirror all along there to recover that missing corner. This is the case when we are going to use a mirror. Okay, there is here. But of course, we have to care that we don't have any windows in the front there. Okay. We don't put any mirror in the kitchen where we cut the food also. Okay. We can put in the dining room to multiply the food. We of course do not put in toilet. So just talk a little bit about toilet. That it's the worst area in in the house or in the flat. So for this, there's a cure. Okay, if the toilets are located in the, let's say, it's northwest and west sector of the house, we use a wind chime. Okay, wind chime 6 hollow roads. Okay, to annihilate the bad energy from the black water. Okay. If the toilets are located in the southwest, south or southeast, we use a huge boulder, not small, huge. It's like you put some huge earth element and you put in the water. In fact, earth going to destroy the water. Okay. Okay. So this is a two cure, but for northeast, no, it's for that one is for northeast, southwest, and south. But for east and southeast, the text says that there's no so much cure. But I put some boulder, maybe a little bit smaller. Okay. In the toilet, we never put any medicine, any picture of the family, any books about medicine, any books about the family. We put nothing in the toilets. Okay, we put some things to clean the house, but because sometimes I saw they put medicine in the toilet. So how do you want that medicine can be effective if they are in toilets? Energetically, it does not match. Okay. So
thank you.
You have a question, maybe? No, it's okay. Continue.
Yeah. No. And what about? I can take I've got a couple of questions here, David, if you would like to.
Yes.
Okay. So when feeling stressed, what direction should sleep face to meditate, or does it vary depending on your astrology?
This is a good question. So let's try something to answer. I will try. It's not there. Okay. No, I need to change the document. In fact, to find your best direction to sleep, it's you need to calculate. You need to calculate. Let's see if is that one. Yes, I got that one. Can I share that document?
Yep. So we can see your screen.
New share. I'm doing it. Yes. Share. Okay. So, so for meditating or for sleeping, if you want to know if the direction you are is a good one or not, you can test that Feng Shui system. It's a question from a woman or from a man?
Yes, I believe so. But if I have that wrong, apologies. Yeah.
Because in that case, we stayed by a woman. So for a woman, you have two calculations. One till 1999 and another calculation after that date. So let's start to calculate. So everybody can calculate. Okay. So let's for people born before or till 1999. For male, okay. For male, you add the last 2 digits. Okay, it will be the same for the woman. Okay, so if you are born in 1954, you add 5 plus 4. It will give 9. And for male, you subtract from 10. So you will have 1. So 1 will be your Gua number. Okay. let's do for women. Women, let's say that a woman is born in 1979. So we are going to add the last 2 digits, the same target. And it will be 16, we reduce to 1 digit. So 1 plus 6 is going to give 7. And there we add 5. Okay, so it will be 12. And then you reduce to 1 digit. And so 1 plus 2 will be 3. Then you are going to get your one number that's going to depict to give you your good direction. Okay, or the bad too, but so for people born after 2000, the calculation is a bit different. It means that in that case, we are going to add all the number of the year. Okay, for 2004, it will be 6. If you are born from there till now, it works like that. Okay, and for male, for boys, we are going to deduct from 11, and for girls, we are going to add 4, and then you are going to get a number. Okay, that number is a Gua number. So you are going to belong to one group, or East group or West group. Okay. So here's a good direction for the East group. Okay. If you got the number, and if you have 1, 3, 4, or 9, you are going to be to East group. So in that case, the 4 first direction are the good direction, from the most powerful to the less powerful. Okay. The development direction is the one we use for the children. For them to face, they should face to that direction, to study, to sleep, because it's a growth direction. Okay, it's development, but it's the spiritual direction, and it's the growth direction. So for children, it's good to use that direction. Okay. Then you have the other bad direction. So at least the last 2 ones are the worst. So if you meet some sleep trouble, or if you have some stressful in some stressful situation when you go to sleep or whatever, you can check if your head is toward one of the bad direction. Okay, this is the first thing. If it's not, okay. But if it is, there's also, of course, another possibility to check with the Sache. But there's also, let's say, maybe depend if you are in the flat or if you are in the house. I'm going to give you the West group in the same time. East, West. Okay. West, so then you can check. You can get some also, sometimes you can have good direction to sleep, you can have the right configuration in the bedroom, and you can still experiment some trouble. In that case, it's possible that you are in the ley line knots. Okay, I did not talk, as I told you before, about geobiology. We did not develop that point, of course, but it's something that happened, but it's not a small thing. When you are, I don't know if I will be able to show you the picture, because when you walk in the forest, sometimes you are going to see some trees growing. There's a twist, in fact. It's amazing. Okay, and let's say if you sleep in that kind of area, you cannot sleep very well. Okay, and there's a technique to check with some roads. Okay, it's an L shape. It's in the brass. It's a brass road. It's maybe it might be possible to make a workshop. I don't know.
Sure.
But
so
it's interesting.
Yes. Summarizing this to the question, David, is say if we were a number 2 on this chart, if you wanted the best sleep or the best meditation, would you use the northeast direction?
Yes, you for me anyway. For the best direction for meditation, I will choose the development direction. Okay, this is the growth and the spiritual one. But the point is, because the point is at least to use a good direction. Sometimes you don't have so much choice. Okay, so that's because I always sum up. But if you have choice for meditation, the growth and development direction is the best. But you can get some specific if you are, depends which practice you do, but if you are tantric practitioner, sometimes in the tantra there's a direction. Okay, not face that direction. If you practice, let's say, white Tara, for instance, the direction to face is the south. So you can get additional information about what is the best direction. Okay, if you practice a deity according to your mandala, you might get a better direction to face. If you just practice yoga or you're not, let's say, a tantric practitioner, you can choose development direction or growth direction.
Okay.
So I'm going for people. Yes, this is the short descriptive of the direction. But for people born between January and February, the previous calculation might not be good. Okay. In that case, I prepare just for you to check.
Is that because it's the start of the New Year cycle?
Yes,
in the tradition.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. Because, in fact, when we are in the new Gregorian year, the Tibetan and the Chinese year is the new one's going to start between January and February. So it means that if you are born in that gap, your calculation is not going to be good. Okay. So I prepare that one for you to check some. I try to find some things.
We might make this available for people if they would like it, David. If they would like to email in.
I don't know if you can. Let's try that one. It's more reachable. Okay, share. Okay, then if you remember the animal, I'm going to give you your 2 good days in the week and the obstacle days in the 1 obstacle days in the week and 2 good days in the week. If you remember the animal, but it's simple. We can find it in the easily in the. So let's. Let's. So here, for instance, let's for the same year, let's say if you are born in 1967, okay, you are going to be 7 Gua if you are male or 8 Gua if you are female. If you are born till the February the 8th. But if you are born from February the 8th the same year, you are going to be 6 or 9. So this is a bit tricky because you are going to be born the same year, but according to you are born before February 8 or after February 9, your one number is going to be different. So it's good to check. Okay. I'm doing so 74. But sometimes you are born in the new Tibetan year or Chinese year till the last day of December. The calculation we did is good. Okay. So let's try maybe that one. Okay, to check. Okay, yeah, everybody has his number and his animal. Yeah, is there any chat? Okay, so 2000. Well, anyway, I can share that document if you
Yes.
want later to check.
Yeah. We'll
Let's
make that available for people.
yes, let's.
And I have one more question comment for you, David. Amazing information. Thank you. This was fantastic. So just in summary, this person would like to check their understanding. So to teach others, we place activated water with directed flow facing the house to bring money luck.
The directive, you need to, yes, the flow should be directive, not turning, not flowing everywhere. It's a straight one, okay?
Directed facing the house.
So it's from outside, you need to point, not to face, to point the center of the house. Whatever fountain you put outside should point the center of the house. If you put a fountain in the house, you need to orient the fountain in the middle of the house.
Okay. And then the rest of the question, David, is we place our dry stalls at the back of the house, representing protection.
Yes, it represents the mountain, the protection of from the mountain. It symbolizes, because sometimes you don't have any mountains or any big building in the back of your house. At the same, sometimes you don't have any light or driveways coming from the east. So in that case, there's some cue and some remedy where we use some representation of what it's missing. Okay. It might be yeah.
Sorry, and the crystals as well is another summary.
But what I told you today, I give you the most two important trick that exists in the whole Feng Shui tradition. Okay. But I also told you that it's possible to adjust, and there's a way to adjust, to sharp. Okay. But once you did that, it's wonderful. It's not possible to go too deep in the flying star, but even if we just stay as we saw, you see, with the towns, how the energy works, and even from Sache, Sache works. It works from the light. It works from the turquoise dragon, and we can start from there, okay? And then if you expect more results and there's no change, then we can go to the flying star chart to sharp the place. And there's also not only one place where we can put the fountain in house. At least you have 3 places, okay? And if from one side it's not possible, because we never put any fountain or any plant in the bedrooms, okay? And sometimes you have good configuration, but the place is in the room. So we need to find another place for that.
Thank you. We are sort of almost out of time, David. Is there something that you would like to say in summary?
In summary, that there's so many things that I did not have time enough to share.
Okay.
For instance, it could be interesting to share the Sache point of view also. Like you see, what to mean that what we can find in the Chinese tradition, in the Feng Shui, we also can find in the Chinese tradition. Okay, so this is another way of calculation for your good and bad direction, but that one is must use by Tibetan yearly, in fact, because you have good direction, bad direction, as we calculate with the Gua number. But we also have a yearly one, and the Tibetans, they use that one more than the Natal one, okay? But anyway, if you have any question, because there's that topic is quite wide, yes, this is a way of calculation. So if you have any question and you are more interesting to discuss about, yes, the entry door. I did not talk about the entry door, that is also one of the most important things, yes, in house. The entry door is the mouth, okay? And the facing direction, when you are inside the house and you are looking outside, that facing direction that was one of the most important in the house, because if it's facing in the good direction, it's okay. If it's facing to a wrong direction, already anyway, you know it. You already know it's troubles all the time. So depending what direction it is, okay. But I gave you the maybe you have time enough to picture what I gave you, but you can check now. You have tools enough to check. And in that case, we talk also that in the front door, when you enter in the house, it's good to get some protection in front. If you have some Sifao, if you have some Kalachakra, if you have, it depends, there's various kind of protection. If, for instance, I have an altar in front, there's some, it can be also Buddha picture. If you are not Buddhist, can be Maria or something, but with no cross, or not picture with earth open. And it should be Maria is quite good in a way. If you are Christians, it can be one of the best protection. Okay, also. But if you are Buddhist anyway, sometimes you are Buddhist, but you don't want to put so much symbols like that. So you can just put Sifao on the Sifao. Maybe, I don't know if you know what a Sifao is, but that one is a really good, we'll try to find the Sifao to know what is it, okay? That one is a good protection. I try to, do you see the Sifao?
Yes.
Okay, so for instance, that if unfortunately you have your door is facing to bad direction, they are secure, but not in Feng Shui, in Sache only. Okay. In Feng Shui, for this there's no solution. But even if you have kitchen in the northwest, there's no solution to. Okay, we did not talk about that. But anyway, here's the Sifao. Sifao is quite good because you have many protection on the top. On the left side, you have the Kalachakra symbol. It's one of the major, most common cure used in the Tibetan Sache. Of course, we have the deities. And on the right-hand side, you have the Mewa, and you also find the Mewa again at the bottom, and also in the left with the Parkha, and in the middle of the cosmic turtle. And on you can see on the right and left side, let's say there are specific talismans. Okay, so I did not talk too much about amulet, okay, because it's not the first cure we suggest, but know that there's amulet, they need to be consecrated and mortified, but there's in Sache at the first level there's something about 40. Okay,
Okay.
So if there's really deep trouble or difficult trouble to solve in Feng Shui, in Geomancy, and there are in Feng Shui, in the Chinese there are, we can use a solution given by the Sache. This is wonderful to get Sache to cure some difficult matter we cannot in Feng Shui.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, David. So you comfortable in, yeah, we might finish up here.
Yes.
I would like to thank you very much for your time today, David, your knowledge on Feng Shui and Sache. If anyone has any questions for David, please email us in at office@sogton.org. David also does consultations for people in their homes, etc. So if you're interested, you can also email us in. But yes, just wanted to say thank you, David. Did you have any final comments at all?
No, thank you. Thank you very much to give me the opportunity to share this few knowledge. But I'm sorry about my English. It's not
it's
so
fine.
good, but if it's good enough, it's okay. And
yeah.
So now the point is that the Feng Shui is not so much theory. It's that we need to practice. You need to do it. Then you experiment. It works or not. If it works, it's okay. If not, we change. It's not something that's not going to change. Okay. And even there's yearly influences. So Feng Shui is something you can adjust all the time. Okay. And at least yearly. Okay. Anyway. So this is the last word, maybe. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. And good evening, everyone.